You're listening to How to Drink Less, and I'm your host, Adriana Cloud. Whether your goal is to cut back, take a break, or say goodbye to alcohol for good, this podcast will help you stop drinking on autopilot, learn how to manage cravings, and feel fully in control around alcohol. It's easier than you think. Listen on to find out how. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in, and please forgive my croaky voice today. I've had a cold for a few days, so my voice is struggling a bit, but this episode is scheduled to come out on Christmas Day, which marks my 5th sober anniversary, and I really wanted to celebrate it with you, and I wanted to share 5 lessons from my 5 sober years. The first lesson is to talk and listen to people who are also getting sober or who have already gotten sober. And this one is key. When we develop a problematic relationship with alcohol, we tend to think that something is wrong with us and that we are uniquely broken and incapable of drinking normally, unlike everyone else. But as it turns out, many people struggle with controlling their consumption. And there's something deeply healing when you can hear other people's stories about drinking and how they got to take control of their drinking. And even if your experience isn't exactly the same, and even if you haven't hit the exact rock bottoms that they have hit, there will be patterns that will be familiar to you and lines of thinking and self-beliefs that you will recognize. And the power of knowing that you're not alone and other people have gone through what you were going through is really comforting. And beyond that, other sober people or those who are working on cutting back can be a great source of support for you in times of hardship because they actually understand what you're going through. Your family and friends might be very supportive, but they might not necessarily get it. If your partner has never struggled to say no to a drink, they might not understand why you struggle to leave wine in the bottle and why you find it hard to stop at one glass. That's why you need people who get what you're going through. And if you don't have people you can actually talk to, like a coach or a support group or other sober or sober curious friends, then you can listen to podcasts like mine or read memoirs from people who've quit drinking or follow sober accounts on social media. Of course, it's better if you can actually speak to people and have them reflect back what they hear, but even just hearing other people's stories passively can help you to normalize what you're going through and to find more self-acceptance and self-compassion. The second lesson is to find out what issue your drinking is a symptom of, and then work to address that issue. We don't drink just to drink. You can tell me all day long that you just drink for the flavor, but no one overdrinks repeatedly or drinks to blackout just for the flavor. It's simply not true. We drink because we're looking for alcohol to do something, whether that's to quiet down the inner critic, to make us feel like we belong, to tamp down anxiety, to help us get through something boring or annoying, to escape discomfort, to tolerate chronic pain maybe. And even people who drink mostly when they're happy, they're still looking for alcohol to provide something that they don't believe they're capable of providing or creating for themselves. So, my advice for you is to find out why you drink. What part of your life are you trying to escape or to numb temporarily? Maybe you're unhappy in your job, or maybe you don't really like your friend group all that much, or maybe you and your partner don't have much to talk about now that the kids are out of the house. Can you be honest about what is really going on in your life that is making you want to drink? Or maybe there's something about you and your relationship with yourself that you're escaping by drinking, like feeling inadequate around your siblings, or worrying that you're not funny enough, or being uncomfortable in your body. And it doesn't have to be some big, dramatic, deep thing either. It could be just as simple as you don't know how to entertain yourself unless you're drinking. But until you address whatever discomfort or whatever sense of lack is driving you to drink, you will struggle to make sustainable changes in your drinking habits. Lesson number 3 is to learn to feel your feelings. This goes with the previous one, and no matter how many times I've said it, I can't say it enough. In the Western world, most of us are not brought up to recognize or to process our emotions. We feel very uncomfortable around emotions. That includes ours and other people's. That's not a personal failure. It's just the fact that most of us grew up in environments where emotions were viewed as an inconvenience, something to be stuffed down and put out of sight as quickly as possible. And so we learn to look for ways to do exactly that, to escape our emotions, to numb them, or at least to soften them temporarily and put them out of sight. But if you're trying to quit drinking or to cut back, there's no way around this. You will have to become a lot more comfortable feeling the whole spectrum of human emotions, including the ones that many of us would prefer to never feel, like loneliness, grief, anger, shame, helplessness, and so on. I'm not saying you have to like those emotions, but you have to learn how to tolerate them. Lucky for you, I've already done a whole episode on how to feel your feelings without numbing them. It's episode number 9. So go and listen to that one if you haven't already. And even if you have already listened to it, I encourage you to go and listen to it again because it has some really good practical tips for how to feel an emotion. Lesson number 4 is to recognize that not every thought or feeling is a call to action. This was a hard one for me personally, and it's a hard one for many of my clients. When we have a craving or when we feel sad, for example, our instinct is to do something about that immediately. We want to take action. But what if whatever is happening around you or inside you is not a call to action? What if there was no urgency to act? Can you give yourself time to sit with whatever is happening around you or whatever is going on in your mind and your body and not act on it? If you're feeling lonely and normally you would drink to dull that feeling, what if you just sit with that loneliness? If you're out for dinner and your friend orders a glass of wine and you suddenly crave a glass of wine too, what if you don't respond to that craving? It's a wild idea, I know, but you can want something and not immediately try to get it. There are many things in your life that you want that you don't currently have. I'm sure of it. Yet for some reason, we think that our cravings for alcohol are different and that they require an immediate response. As soon as the urge to drink comes up, we feel compelled to answer it. As soon as we feel an uncomfortable emotion, we feel compelled to drink at it. But what if you don't? But what if you don't try to act your way out of it and you just sit with it? And the last lesson is remind yourself that you don't know the future. It's part of the human condition. We try to predict what will happen and how we will feel and what others will think of us and so on. The problem is that we look to the past to tell us something about the future. If in the past you've always drunk when you met your friends at the bar on Friday, of course you cannot imagine that you can have fun with them on a Friday if you're not drinking. If part of why you love France is because you love French wine and your past visits have revolved around visiting different wineries, then of course you might be thinking that going to France sober will be boring and you will feel like you're missing out. But I want you to allow for the possibility that your future may be different from your past. Just because you haven't done something yet doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Just because you haven't had a particular experience yet while sober doesn't mean that you cannot do it and enjoy it while sober. You don't know what the future holds for you. You just simply cannot predict how you will feel in the future or exactly how much fun you will have at your cousin's wedding next summer if all you're drinking is grapefruit juice. I didn't believe that I would ever get to a point where I didn't want to drink. It was just inconceivable to me. And so I just came to accept that if I quit drinking, my life would be quite boring and I would always feel a little bit deprived and a little bit sad that I wasn't drinking. That's what I believed. But thankfully, I was wrong. I've never felt happier, and I haven't wanted a drink in years, actually. I can't even remember the last time the thought about having a drink crossed my mind. I can't imagine ever wanting a drink in the future. Of course, never say never, but as of right now, I can't see what alcohol might offer me that I might actually want. But past me couldn't conceive of this reality because past me was stuck seeing things from her own limited perspective. And the same is true for you. You cannot imagine how your future might unfold. So, can you allow for the possibility that things might turn out better than you can currently foresee? You don't have to know the details right now or the exact steps that you might need to take to create the future that you want. But can you allow for the possibility that a beautiful, rich, fulfilling, sober life might be within reach for you at some point? All right, my friends, this is where I'll leave you for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for celebrating my 5th sober-versary with me. And wherever you are on your path to a sober or sober-ish life, just keep going. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and I'll talk to you all next week. If you're looking for practical advice for how to say no to alcohol and say yes to yourself, you will want to get on my email list. Sign up to receive my free guide with 7 steps to kickstart your sobriety. The link is in the show notes, so go and grab it now, and I'll see you soon in your inbox.